it's not easy. And you talk about 40 planting seasons or whatever, it's kind of sad, but, sometimes with the cover crops and no-till, we might be able to get 3 or 4 of those plantings in a year. And that's not fun, with replant scenarios. But at the same time, there's guys around that, with even conventional tillage this year that have planted fields 3 times.
I think you said something a little bit ago that I think is important as well. You said, and I remember this up in Northern Illinois last year when it was dry, and farmer attitude was pretty down around what we were seeing, slower emergence, and what these cover crops are looking like. But you said a little bit ago there was some of that this spring too, but you wait a little bit. I mean, I think that's part of this too, that we sometimes just need to walk away and not look at that field for a little bit and come back, and things might get better. Would you say that's another thing that a farmer needs to be thinking about?
Yeah, this systems approach of farming takes a lot of patience and a lot of flexibility. We have to really keen observers of the soil, of the environment, and everything. So that's probably something I'd say we really need to be monitoring as well. So
And we know, farmers, we think about this, probably have 40 seasons, 40 crop years to try and accomplish everything they want to. And so some of these times it's the fear of these setbacks that make it hard to think about, well, why do I want to waste one of these 40 years? So what do you tell a farmer that's either thinking about it or maybe have had a bad experience on how they can, keep going and persevere and actually be able to see the benefits of some of these practices?
when you start to look at soil health or soil quality and the functions of soil and everything, it takes time to build that resilience back into the soil system itself. We have bad times even with conventional tillage as well. I often say now that when I'm speaking, I ask guys if they ever had a tillage failure, and everybody kind of looks at me like, "Well, what are you talking about?" No, we never have a tillage failure. Well, actually, we probably do. The first time you go out and work it to dry it out, we're actually creating the compaction layer in that soil profile, and like right now in my part of the world, I was out this morning trying to soil sample some fields, and I can find exactly how deep we worked the ground the first pass this spring with the probe because I can't push it any further than 4 inches into the ground. And you start digging up the corn roots, and those corn roots, those plants are telling us the same thing. So we have failures in those systems, but we're able to kind of force our way through it a little bit more with the tillage practices. With the cover crops, it just because it takes so much more patience and um, we got a living plant that is one sucking up moisture from that soil profile or keeping it too wet. We've got to just understand that our management, when we start wanting to put the blame on something for not working, is all due to our own management of that system. So we have to understand that what we do is going to influence how that soil and how that crop is going to respond. It's not easy. And you talk about 40 planting seasons or whatever, it's kind of sad, but sometimes with the cover crops and no-till, we might be able to get 3 or 4 of those plantings in a year. And that's not fun, with replant scenarios. But at the same time, there's guys around that with even conventional tillage this year that have planted fields 3 times. So we still have. I mean, there's an opportunity for replant in every system. We just try to minimize that as much as possible by understanding what that soil is telling us. And like I said before, you can go in there and smear that seed in the ground with a no-till system or whatever when it's a little too wet, and you'll see those effects throughout the whole growing season. You'll start inhibiting yield right there off the start. So we want to make sure that the soil's condition is right and have our crop start off right.
No, I think those are all excellent points, David. As we conclude on this episode of Illinois Corn TV, do you have any final parting thoughts for farmers across Illinois?
I would say that there's a lot more growing interest into the cover crop world. And as a farmer starts out, take baby steps with it. Just do with what you can sleep with at night. If you want to try it on the back 40 where nobody can see it, that's fine. If you want to do it in your own little garden, just to understand maybe how to manage it and what it's doing, that's fine. surround yourself by like-minded people who want to make it work, and not just people that are planting a cover crop, but are doing it for specific reasons. Identify your goals and your metrics for that goal as well. But start small, go easy with it, and learn from it. It can be fun, it can be challenging and stressful, but at the end, it's pretty rewarding.
Great. Thank you.